No need to adjust the camera. Jalen's a little out of focus. He was a little out of focus. It felt like a little fuzzy last week against the Patriots. Here's the good news. It's Thursday night football, and you and I are going to make a lot of money as the Philadelphia Eagles win the game, but probably don't cover that spread. It opened up at 7. It's already dipped to 6.5. There is a monster trend associated with, in fact, we're going to do this now. The Ben Rasa trend of the day, right? We normally have the Lindy least approved play of the day. Don't worry, that's coming. Thumbs up. Subscribe to the OddsShopper channel. Here it is. I think I may open up. I've got a bankroll builder. Like, I want to do a bunch of stuff, right? I got to show you what's going on here at Caesars. $50. You're going to get $250 back if I can even speak right now. All of that great stuff, right? I even have a bankroll builder here for you. And that's exactly where I want to begin. So with that said, there it is. It's on Caesars. This can be your first bet, $50. Just sign up below. It'll take you 40 seconds. The bankroll builder is pushing this total to a key number at 51 to going 51.5 under that. I understand there's some guys banged up on both sides of the football for both teams. But mind you, just because you don't have a safety and starting cornerback doesn't mean that Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 350 on the Eagles defense. They still have that defensive front. They can still get to Cousins. And look, both teams are interested, at least starting off, in running the football. Not messing with the spread here. Nothing at all with the spread. Why? Because Minnesota's 8-0-2 against the spread as a dog of more than 6 points when coming off a straight-up favorite loss and taking on an opponent coming off a win. 8-0-2. That's why we don't mess with the spread. That's the Ben Raza stat of the day, trend of the day, the stuff that just makes his head explode. Why are you saying that on my channel? Don't even tell him that I told you that. Are you ready to make some money here? All right, let's start. We've got a parlay. I've got anytime touchdowns and then a couple of player props, including from OddsShopper, before we get out of here. Okay, so let's just start with the first play of the game. The parlay, the first leg of our parlay is going to be really simple. And don't worry, I've got anytime TDs for days tonight, all right? So if this game goes 3-0 at the end, we're screwed, but I don't think we're going to have to deal with that. Look. The first leg is this guy behind me. This is a perfect opportunity for a guy who normally vultures healthy running back touchdowns to step in and take matters into his own hand. We'll talk about how this doesn't get as fuzzy and clears up for Hurts coming into this game a little bit with another prop, but Jalen Hurts anytime TD is our first play of the game here. And honestly, when you look at the rest of this parlay, it starts to make some sense. So we are going to throw the Eagles money line in there just to make it work. But the first actual play is Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. It's important to look at this still at minus 105, which is great. So you're just on the other side of a 50-50 shot. He is the run game. Now, DeAndre Swift, a little homecoming. It's going to be a bigger game for him than we saw, which was basically non-existent against New England. So don't sweat it, right? Like Swift anytime. These are the two that I am most confident in. That's why we're putting them in the parlay. Now, look, the Eagles at minus 270 helps balance some things out. You're still at plus 553 for a 3-leg parlay. That ain't bad at all, folks. All right? If you're hitting those, you're doing a good amount of work, not a ton, for a great payout. This is not 6 legs to pay out plus 100. Jalen, anytime. DeAndre Swift, anytime. Philadelphia Eagles, minus 270. Again, DeAndre Swift becomes the default running back in both the run and pass game. He will get targets. He will get chances. There is no doubt in my mind that the Philadelphia Eagles are centered right now on the theory of running against, trying to at least, with that big, bad offensive line, running. Novel idea, right? Novel concept. Now, it's not going to be as many design runs for Hurts, but the RPO, the ability to run, that opens things up for the running back. That's why we love it. You get it? Now, that's 2 anytime TDs. So technically here, you need more. Okay. First touchdown is where we begin. Then we hit you with a couple of touchdowns. And then I hit you with the Lindy least approved play of the day, which is going to be a deuce. All right? There's going to be a deuce. It's deuces all around. Now, we have to look at what's most likely going to happen here. The Eagles, we know when they win the toss, they're going to defer. At home, that's what they're going to do. I believe the Vikings would do the same. I truly do. You come off a bad home loss. You want to set the tone with your defense. It's on the road. You're going to get the ball back at the half. I think either team that wins the coin toss immediately goes to defer. They're on defense and they kick off. And look, this is what the bet is centering around. Centering, circling, all hovering around. Is that the Vikings either lose the toss, right, or somehow choose to go first on offense, which, again, I just don't believe either coach is going to make that decision. So I'm banking on the Eagles winning the coin toss and doing what I believe them to do. That leaves things open for a Minnesota player. The Vikings will score first. Did you see that DraftKings? And by the way, we've got links and books to everywhere. It's OddsShopper. So if you're not on DK, FanDuel, MGM, Caesars, all of them, we've got links. But what I love about this is, first off, Ed Reed Blankenship is out. You've got a cornerback that's out, a safety that's out, Bradbury and Blankenship out. You can't just put Darius Slay one-on-one on Justin Jefferson all day. That's going to be, again, we did this with Amon Ra St. Brown for, it sounded a little Russo in there, Mad Dog. Amon Ra. We did that with him where it's like, okay, the one thing we know we can trust. Look, the other side of this would be the Eagles scoring Devontae Smith, maybe A.J. Brown. I don't think they score first. Justin Jefferson, first TD, put a tenth of a unit. That's $10 on it. TJ Hawkinson, anytime, quarter of a unit. Dallas Goedert, anytime, quarter of a unit. Tight ends right here. No issue going to look, the Eagles are depleted in the center of the field, right? Like, that's it. The Eagles are depleted at linebacker. The Eagles are down a starting safety. If the Vikings have any brain cells in them right now, and I'm giving them a little bit of a benefit, they're going to work TJ Hawkinson as much as they can. Look, the same thing applies for Dallas Goedert, who might still be on a milk crate right now somewhere in a Delco supermarket. What the hell is going on? Well, don't get crazy, because the same thing happened last year with Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert, all right? Dallas Goedert finds rhythm right away in this football game. Jalen Hurts getting reacclimated with the offense, getting back to that MVP-type player. It starts with establishing that connection with Dallas Goedert right away in the middle of the field. It will help open things up on the outside. And look, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they're not going anywhere. You don't need to force something right away. It's going to be open like it was with Goddard last week. It's going to be open. So Dallas Goedert, anytime touchdown with the targets that he should receive, which leads us to Eric Lindquist, least approved play of the day. How dare you take a Dallas Goedert touchdown, Shander, and push this to the limit to now get 2 on the night. I know you're only putting a tenth of a unit, $10 down on a plus 2,200 play. Shame on you. Well, you know what, Lindy? Stick it, because Goddard is going for the deuce tonight. I love it. Did you hit the thumbs up button? Have you subscribed? Are you part of this OddsShopper community? Do I need to go back to the Bankroll Builder, cousin? Because I will. Look at that. Money line on the Eagles under 51.5. This is your $50 bet on Caesars. This thing's going away in less than a week. Less than a week. I was just told that you have less than a week to sign up. So you've been putting this up. Well, I don't give a shit about it. Okay, now you've lost money. You've simply lost money. All right? I'm telling you for a freaking reason. Nice Bankroll Builder. Love it. Love it when we get the Bankroll Builder in here. All right. Last, I've got 4 player props for you. One of them is from OddsShopper. 3 of them are for me, which means you get to see my ugly head 3 times in a row down there. Let's start with an obvious one. Hey, we just talked about Dallas Goedert anytime TD. Guess what? Dallas Goedert going over his receiving yards. Again, there will be a concerted effort to get Dallas Goedert the rock right away. At least from a target. Look, the guy drops 3 footballs. We're screwed. What can you do? You had chances. That's what I'm betting on with Dallas Goedert tonight. Chances. That's all I need. Chances. And that's why this picture becomes a little clearer. DeAndre Swift over 32.5 rushing yards. You better believe it. That offensive line. moving downhill. Look, we're going to have a little fun here, but I actually think there's a pathway. Big play and targets. I think defenses right now are going to cut their losses, or try to at least, and do everything they can to remove A.J. Brown from being a number one receiver on the field. Take him out, double coverage, put guys behind the cornerback, up top with the safety, below with the linebacker, whatever it may be. Just identify A.J. Brown and try to remove him from the football game. Devontae Smith is going to have big downfield options. Leading receiver just under 5-1 at plus 490. I'm interested in putting quarter unit down there. Maybe I'll even put a half unit on there because I'm feeling so giddy about this. Last, you don't even need to know who Jordan Addison is. You don't need to be able to pick him out of a lineup, any of that. The OddsShopper tool has identified that Jordan Addison over 40.5 receiving yards at minus 110 is simply the best bet and player prop you can play across the board for tonight's game. So it's a lot of information in 10 minutes time. We got to run this all back for you. All right. We're going to do this right now. All right. So get your paper and pen, your phone, your notes, all of that. You still do that, by the way, the notes on the phone? I remember, I'm old enough to remember when that was like rude. You're on your phone. I'm talking to you. It's like, I'm taking down what you're saying. Oh, there's my buddy. There's my little buddy. All right. I don't know how somebody that beautiful can come from me, my wife, if that's what you're asking. It's definitely that. And yes, we did outkick in this house. Me for a wife and my boy for a mom. So we're in good shape. All right. Let's run it back. Here's your bankroll builder. Eagles money line under 51.5. Watch the fucking Eagles lose this game tonight. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be angry. I saw it coming. But I'm local, and I can't say the Vikings are going to win on TV. It just doesn't work that way. There's your bankroll builder. I'll leave it up there for you. Here's your same game parlay. Hurts anytime, Swift anytime. Eagles simply win the freaking game. Is it that difficult? Anytime touchdowns. Let's go first. The first guy, JJ on the Vikes. First touchdown. TJ on the Vikes. Anytime. Goddard anytime. And the Lindy least approved. Goddard 2+ TDs. Player props. Let's go. Goddard over receiving, Swift over rushing, Devontae Smith, leading receiver in the game, and Jordan Addison, Minnesota, over 40.5 receiving yards. Love you for being here. Thank you. Love the comments. Got a great one yesterday. This parlay ain't going to hit. Keep them coming.